And we're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's session where Ruchika, Dipti, Kavya, Saptarishi, and Praveen and me are going to be talking about time management. Now, what I have seen in my life is there's a slight echo happening, I think. What I have seen in my life is that housewives are super efficient managing their time. I saw my mother all my life. She was an educator, she was a teacher first, and she became the principal and then the director of the school where she was working at. Plus, she ran the most efficient home. She'd wake up in the morning, get ready, hustle us all to quickly eat our breakfast, take us to school, drop the kids to school, drop her husband, my dad, to work, get off herself that work. Come back in the evening, feed us the most amazing tea, make us sit for our homework while she did her corrections, tended to her plants, called our housekeeper, ordered the meals for the next day. Super, super, super efficient. And my mother always had flowers blossoming in her garden, whether it was a terrace garden or whether that was a big garden in a bungalow. She just managed everything, and I was always in awe of her. And I think I caught some of her efficiency. So, in this business, I know I run my business in a very, very efficient way thanks to her being my role model. I make sure that I list the things that I need to do in the day, and I give my business priority because I'm a full-time digital business owner. Everybody isn't. Some people just work for 1 and 2 hours a day, and they can do that because our business is set up in a very, very efficient manner. We have the most amazing back-end system, and that automation runs 24/7. So we could be doing anything and our business is running. So, yeah, I'd like to start with Ruchika. Ruchika, what are your views on time management and how do you personally handle time management and your business, as well as your work as a doctor, a mother, and a wife?
Thank you, Nandini. It's very inspiring to hear how your mother was so efficient. And I think, as a homemaker and a working professional, it's very important to manage your time really well. And then the self discipline also comes in, right? You have to discipline yourself, be it any business or any profession. If you have like 10 things and you have to do everything, unless you're doing time management, it's not going to work. And it's same for me. When I got into the business, I was a little thinking about how I'm going to manage time. But I know that in evenings I have time. Sometimes I used to watch movies, or I'll just spend time here and there not doing much. But now I use that time in the evening to do my work, to do my business. Initially I had to spend more time because I was doing training. When we join the business, we have to set up the business, and to set up the business you need a lot longer time, and you're dedicating a lot of time. Once your business is set, then even spending 1 to 2 hours every day is good enough, because everything is set. You have to do, if you're planning well in advance, your posts, your training, if you have to watch masterminds, everything, training and working, it can be done in 1 to 2 hours. I also work from my kitchen sometimes when we are doing meetings and I'm also getting ready. I'm cooking breakfast and also listening to, participating in team meetings. If we are away on a holiday, the system is working on the back end, so you don't have to spend too much time. If you somebody's asking some questions, you can easily answer them. So from all perspective, it's not, um, if you can say it can be difficult, but it's not difficult. It won't be difficult if you organize yourself really well, and then you're able to fit in your business, because what you're trying to do eventually is get the time back in a more, you know efficient way, and you'll have lot more time in future if you invest your time now. So I feel that it's all doable, be it part time. If I can do it, I will say, if I can do it, anybody can do it, because I have really long hours, but still I'm able to do it.
Superb. It's all about how efficient you are and how disciplined you are, Ruchika. You brought up a very important point. It's very important to be disciplined, especially that you're a doctor, you're a housewife, you're a mother, and like a wife. You have, I know you have amazing friends. You have wonderful hobbies that you pursue, as well as you are a digital business owner. So yeah, discipline matters a lot. So Saptarishi, will you tell me how you manage your time and this business as well as your work? Because I know you do this business as a side hustle.
Sure, Nandini. Thank you so much. So, I'm in this business for around last 6 months, and I've been managing my time as well. So, what I do is what I have found out is the first thing is mindset. Okay, because if you have that willpower that yeah, I want to change my life, whatever it takes, then you will find time no matter what. You will make time for yourself, and you will invest time in this business. That is the first thing I see in this business, and on top of that, if you have some serious goals to achieve, okay, because then only you will develop that mindset to make it big in this business, and you will even in your busy schedule, you will try to find that time to do the business. And as in all of our daily lives, 40% of our time is spent on social media only. So we scroll through Facebook, YouTube, and all. So our business teaches us to leverage social media to make money. So we can make a better use of social media. So that is the best part about a business, instead of going and wasting time there. So that is the best part about a business, and we can create a thriving business from our home, making 5 to 6 figures. So that's the best part, and our business has all the tools and techniques to teach that. And our business, on top of that, you don't need, if you start a business, you don't need to sit for 5 to 6 hours daily. It demands only 2 hours, and there are thousands and thousands of success stories of people who have just worked for 2 hours in our business and they have made it big. So that is the best part. You don't need to sit for a long time. It's very flexible. And in my scenario, what I normally do to manage my time in this business is, uh, I found it very useful. I use this technique of timetable. So I specify a time when I will do my work, when I will do my business, whatever other activities I do throughout the day. I have a specific timetable, and I try to hang it in front of myself. Okay, so this reminds me of my time, and it helps my mind to focus. So basically, if I have a work which is scheduled for 2 hours, okay, and if I have a timetable, then what will happen is, my mind will focus to complete that work in 2 hours, and it will not get distracted anywhere. So it will help me focus. So a timetable is very useful for me, and on top of that, I can complete my single priority task faster. It will help me to focus and to complete my work in 2 hours only, and it will not delay it. So that's it from my end, Nandini. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Saptarishi. Yes, having a timetable is really quite inspiring because it makes you finish the work within that time. And yeah, and another thing you said, priorities. It all matters what our priorities are. If this is your priority, you'll definitely take out time for it. Really well said. So, Dipti, what are your time management skills and what do you have to say about this?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Um, my name is Dipti. I live in Calgary, Canada. Originally, I'm from Gujarat, India. I'm a stay at home mom. I'm super excited to share my experience, how I balance my business with my family. After becoming a mom, I took a break from my career to focus on my family, because I don't want to miss their milestones. I wanted to see them grow. Um, Over a time, I felt like I had lost my identity, and I wanted to do something that give me a sense of purpose, flexibility, and financial independency without compromising my family time. So that's when I found this business. It allows me to work from home and on my own terms, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. I'll tell you how I manage my time between my kids, my household responsibilities, and my business. First I plan my daily schedule. It usually goes like my mornings are for my family, my kids. In midday, I'm only focused on my business, and afternoon, evenings are again are on my family. Even weekends also, weekends fully I spend with my family, my friends, and spending time with my passion. Second, I always prioritize my task. I plan my week in advance, so I allocate my time slots for my work, my family, and myself too, because 90% of work done by my automation, so I'm not working all day. I have dedicated work hours, so you don't need to spend again, as Ruchika and Saptashi say, like, we don't have to spend 8 hours a day. Just only 1 or 2 hours, focused hours, can make difference. I only spend 1 or 2 hours when my kids are at school. This helps me to get more done in less time. And then fourth, I use social media scheduling tools and email automation, so I don't have to be online 24 by 7. See, taking time for my business, it's not just for me, it's for my family future. When I work, I'm not just making money, I'm showing my kids that that mom can also be dream big and achieve their goals, right? I also set clear work time and family time, so I can be fully present on my both roles. If you are waiting for a perfect time, it will never come. You can start small, take a one step at a time, and create a routine that works for you. Time is never found, you have to be created. So if as Ruchika said, right, if I can do this, anyone can do this. I just want to say one last thing, like, mom, you are capable of more than you think. It's not just about choosing between family and business. It's just about creating a balance that works for you. Yeah, that's all.
Very well said. Yes, Dipti, it's all about creating a balance that works for you. Superb. So, Kavya, will you let us know what you think about time management and how you use it in your life?
Sure. Thank you, Nandini. Hi, everyone. My name is Kavya Nelson. I'm a software engineer by profession. But I started this business in 2019 when I had already quit my job. So my schedule was completely different. Like when people are working now and they are doing this business with the job, but I had already quit my job, so I had plenty of time during my day, right? So I used to, but like now Saptashi said, social media can take away all your time. Like you don't know how what you're doing with social media. You're just scrolling through, and the time goes off, right? So again, it comes back to your priority. So what do you want to do, right, with your time? So if you are okay to spend time watching social media, and if you think that okay, let me relax, that's what you will do, right? But I wanted to make this business work for me. So from the day one, like since I started this business, I've given more time for my business, right? So again, as we already always say in our sessions, right, if you give more time for your business, you get more, right? So it is our own business, it's not a job. Like you don't have to spend like 12 hours and get the same income by the end of the month, right? So I used to give more time for my business, and I used to get more right? So that's the main thing. So now, since it's been 6 years already, and again, like everybody said, there is automation. So I don't spend that much time. It's already up and running. My business is already established and it's running for me. So I take like a few hours, like just like a few minutes, I can say, here and there. And I don't take much time sitting in front of the computer for like 1 or 2 hours continuously. So that's like I prioritize. Like again, Saptarshi said, I keep I don't know, like I sometimes start and we will again something's happening in the screen and we check our phone right, and again the time goes off. So I also schedule my time. When I started, especially, I used to schedule my time like half an hour to read books, half an hour to go through this training video, half an hour to do this something on the business page. Like that I used to schedule. I don't know how many people are like me, because I just get distracted very quickly with a lot of things. I'll be doing something and some message comes up and I'll go somewhere else. Like I'll talk to that person and I'll forget about what I was doing on my screen. So that's me. So for that I used to keep I used to set everything beforehand. Like the previous day I used to set everything, that in the morning I have to work out and then I have to do this task in this half an hour. I have to finish that task in half an hour. That's how I used to set my time, I would say. But like Dipti said, if it is a priority for you, you will surely do it, right? So if you're a mom, you know that you will have to finish all those tasks. So you will somehow find time for it. So the same way, if you're working, you will have to find time for the business if you really want that change in your life, right? So if you can spend at least 1 hour now for your business on a daily basis, maybe you'll be free for the next, like in the next 1 year you'll be free, like me. Right, so you might maybe able to quit your job and do this business full time, so you don't have to spend that much time, right? You'll get that 9 hours of free time in that day. So yeah. So prioritize what you want now so that you can spend time on things that is actually required, not just spending time on social media or doing things that you are not really, it's not needed, which is not needed now. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a very big culprit. As much as it's needed, especially in our business, because our whole office is this, it's also a very big culprit. I know I'll get a message, I'll start conversing with that person, and I've forgotten exactly what I was going to do. I see some lovely reel, and then 2 hours later, I've been just watching reels. So, what I do to be efficient, I put my phone on silent and I do my work quietly. So that's done. When I get up in the morning, I go for a walk. I do not distract myself with what's happened, what is the latest message from somebody. I go for my walk, I listen to certain things on my walk. I'll go for my walk, I'll come back, I'll meditate. That time is not to be distracted. I've just trained myself that way. And also during work time, my phone is on silent. There's just one thing that I don't do, and my coach Kavya keeps telling me, "Why aren't you sleeping?" I find it very difficult to sleep in the night and to pull myself away from my business. So I still have to master that one, but I will one day for sure. So, in fact, Praveen and me were talking about that, how difficult we find it to tear ourselves away from our business and sleep. So, yes, Praveen, will you tell us about your time management?
Yeah, definitely. So, hello everyone. So, I'm Praveen. I live in US. I'm engineer by profession, and I do this business as a side hustle. So, I'll share my personal experience. So, when I decided to do this business, the first thing came to my mind was, so where I'm going to find time, because I'm already busy. So my plate is full. So where I'm going to find time to do this business? And then I sat and then I kind of categorized what is my where I need to put more time. So the first thing came to my mind was my family. So I need to spend time for my family, and then I need to spend time for my job, and then I need to spend time for my at the time I had a second job, so I need to spend time for my second job. And then the other thing was I need to spend time for myself, because I can't spending time for others, but I need to refresh myself. So I need my own personal time to do things. And the other thing is I need time to spend for community, because I do volunteering for community and then churches. So I know this. I come up with all these things, and then I started analyzing where I'm spending more time. So shockingly, I was spending more time for myself, because I think that I need to refresh my mind and then I need to relax. So I need to give rest to my brain, and then I was relaxing more than what I need to do. So I was watching TV and then spending time on social media. So that came as the first thing, that I was spending more time. And then second was my job, and then third was my second job, and then fourth was my family, and then fifth was my the community time. So I know, like, okay, this is not good, so I need to fit my business into this one. And then I worked out what would be my priority. So I set family as my priority, because whatever I do is for my family. So I set that as the first priority, and then the second was my job, because that's a thing fueling my business and also my life until the business takes over as the mainstream of income. So that was my second. And third thing was my business. And fourth thing was my time for myself. And then fifth thing was my the community service. So I set this priorities. So now I want to transfer from my previous priorities to my new priorities. And it didn't happen overnight. It took me a lot of trial and error method because I need to self-discipline myself, as Ruchika said. So it took me a lot of time. Took me a lot of reminders to train my subconscious mind to focus on these priorities. And I used a lot of apps. I used timetables, as Kavya mentioned. I tried those things, and then uh, I tried different things, and then finally I was able to find something that really worked for me. That is, so I use same kind of timetable, but in a different format, like a calendar that sets a reminder when I need to do what. So that helps me a lot to schedule the time for my business and do these priorities. And then also I try to plan more in advance. For example, if I need to take my kids for extra classes because they go for volleyball coaching. So I know like I need to drive 20 minutes and then I spend 2 hours for the coaching and then 2 hours back, 20 minutes back home. So 2 hours and 40 minutes I spend on a day on Wednesdays. So in that time, so I'll plan like, okay, 1 hour I'll spend time to watch the replays and then which I missed. And then 1 hour I'll spend time for my business activities and 20 minutes to talk to my mom back home. So I plan those things and then I'll try to execute them. So in that way, I was able to fill those pockets where I was spending more time on social media and trying to relax myself. I occupy those timings for my business and then for time for myself. Another thing is when I analyze my time, I was doing a lot of things which is not adding value to my life. For example, in my job, so I work like I work 12 hours, but if I look into that, I was not very productive. So I mean, like I was doing others' job too, thinking that I'm helping others, and then I was occupying myself doing other stuff. So I started eliminating all those things, and I started to be more productive in my job. In that way, I find more time for my business, and then in that way, I find more time to for my family too. So at the end of the day, it's all about self-discipline and then prioritization and then also the planning. So that really helped me to find time for this business. So so if I think deeply, so the richest man in the world has got 24 hours. The poor and broke also got 24 hours in a day. So if you start complaining that I don't have time, it's not the problem with others or the time itself. It's actually the problem with us. The only thing we miss is we never sit and analyze where we are spending more time. So if you sit and analyze like me, definitely you'll have your own priority, whether you are spending more time for yourself or spending more time for your job or family or whatever it is. So just sit and then analyze your time, and then if you find more time, then yeah, you can definitely do anything in that particular time more productively. For example, doing a business or doing something else that add more value to your life. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
That's very well said. Yes, it's always good to step back and analyze. Awareness brings a lot of good answers. So, yes, so the best way to manage time is firstly be disciplined, definitely prioritize, have a timetable, and work out your schedule. My daughter, who is a super efficient human being, has little alarms. Like she will have alarm 1 hour for this, half an hour for exercise, 1 hour to read her book, 1 hour to meditate. And I always used to tease her before. I said, Tashu, what are you doing? Why are these alarms going? But now when I'm working, I realize how important it is. Because that way, as Praveen says, you don't end up wasting time on things which are really not so important for you. So, yeah, so I think that was a lovely talk today. Does anyone have anything to add to this? Anyone likes to add anything?
So
Okay, so
one technique that I found most useful for me nowadays is the Pomodoro technique. So I set the clock for 25 minutes and then 5 minutes of break. So that is really helping me because I'm not overdoing anything. So I know that I have to finish that task in that 25 minutes.
okay.
I also
So,
use Google Tasks. I use Google Tasks. So if I have scheduled any interview or anybody, so I'll write all the details on it, and then it will give me all the reminders. And I use I've got like different tasks categories. So one is my business task, one is my uh, physician task. All those are all categorized, so I do get notifications, which really helps. I think people should try Google Tasks. It's a good app.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really good to do all this because it keeps us so efficient. Yeah,
Yeah.
Kavya, anything?
No,
No.
that's it, Nandini. I think all the points are covered. I loved
Yeah.
Praveen's points a lot. Like
Yeah.
analyze and see where you're actually spending more time, right? So you will find time for sure. You'll know where you're spending time, which is not adding value, right? So I think yeah, that was very good. Thank you.
And the one thing we all have to be aware of is, as I said this, as Kavya said, this is
Yeah.
so tempting to get involved in. It is something very delicious about getting involved with your phone.
But our job is also mostly on phone, so that's the other thing, right? Like our online business, we mostly do it on phone. Like we don't need much of laptop, right? So that's another thing we'll have to be really careful about, right? So you will have to be very specific about what you're doing, and if like all those distractions you'll have to avoid. So that is, I think Pomodoro technique will actually come handy with that, is what I feel like, because the time is up, so you'll have to focus.
What? I'll give you a very brief example. It's very funny though. So my in-laws are visiting. So when I come back, I play Ludo with my mother-in-law, and Mastermind was on. So I quickly switched on to Masterminds. I'm listening to Masterminds and playing Ludo with her.
Multitasking.
So it was funny.
Multitasking.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Praveen, would you like to expand a little bit about Pomodoro for our audience?
Sure, Pomodoro is a kind of tool that you can download the app or you can use the web page. So where you can go and then add the task. So for example, so now I normally add task like I need to clear my work emails, and then add all those tasks that I need to do for a day. And then before I start the task, I'll go and then set the timer, and then the timer will be keep running in the background while I was working on my task. And after the time set, it will give me an alarm that so the time is over, and then it will ask me to start like a 5 minutes break. So for every task that I complete, I can have like 5 minutes break, which is really good. I just go for a short walk and then drink some water, take my coffee, and then come back and then focus on my next task. So after 2 or 3 tasks, I can have a long break of 15 minutes or 20 minutes. So that will give me another break to refresh myself and then come back. So I try to avoid not watching social media during those breaks, because again it will take over. So I always try to engage like in a small exercise or something, stretching or anything, since I'll always keep sitting and working. So that's how I manage. So again, I'll set time for my social media time too, like because I watch others and then follow others. So I'll set one task per day. So I have spent that only 25 minutes to do the task. So that's how it works.
Superb. So I love the Ludo and Mastermind, Ruchika. That was very Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for watching. And I hope that you learned some good techniques from here and enjoyed the Ludo and Mastermind chat as well. So we'll see you tomorrow for some more. Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye.